This is your Weather Xtreme video for a rather chilly morning, November the 22nd. I'm meteorologist Brian Peters. If you haven't looked outside and taken a look at the thermometer just yet, it's a bit nippy out there. The surface map shows that we have a surface high-pressure system centered over north-central Texas. It's making its influence felt across part of the southeastern U.S., and the front that we dealt with yesterday that came through Alabama has reached just off the Southeast U.S. coast and is draped across Florida. The upper air pattern shows a rather broad trough and a fairly deep trough over the eastern half of the country, and that's what's bringing the chill to our area. Temperatures across central Alabama generally in the 30s this morning. We do vary a little bit as to whether we're right around freezing or not. Some spots like Anniston around 35, while as other spots are down around 30 to 32. And reports from our sky watchers indicate that because the wind stayed up, most of the frost that occurred is fairly light this morning. But that won't be the case tonight as we see the high pressure settle in over the area. As a result of all of that, the National Weather Service offices across the southeastern U.S. from Texas to Alabama have included freeze warnings. Those are those dark blue areas. And over in Texas, as you head down towards the Big Bend country there, the purple are actually hard freeze warnings because they're expecting temperatures to be well below 28 degrees. QPF-wise, or quantitative precipitation forecast, we're looking at very little rain over the southeastern U.S. for the next 5 days. It looks like our next chance is going to come either very late Friday and into Saturday, or perhaps even just into Saturday. That's unfortunate because, of course, that is when the Iron Bowl will be occurring. Storm Prediction Center is only forecasting some thunderstorms over the peninsula of Florida for day 1. Day 2 and 3 basically were very similar without much in the way of any weather being forecast. And in the tropical Atlantic, there's no activity that is being watched. But in the Pacific, as the Pacific has been this year, the Pacific continues to be rather active with the remnants of Rick. And then another one that is moving westward away from the Mexican and Central American coast, and that one could develop. All right, the 06Z GFS model run this morning, and there's the forecast map for today at noon, and we see the high pressure basically settling in over the lower Mississippi River Valley. It basically comes in over Alabama and Mississippi on Monday morning, and therein lies part of the problem because it's going to allow the wind to go calm. Skies will be clear, so we should get really good radiational cooling. Aloft, the 500 millibar trough is beginning to exit the eastern part of the country as it's moving offshore from New England. That will move well offshore on Tuesday as we begin to start the warming trend as a ridge comes over the southeastern U.S. We do see that trough over the eastern Colorado area. And while normally that might give us some problems because we are so dry, there'll only be some passing clouds to deal with. And Tuesday, that high moves up into the Carolinas, still being felt across much of the southeastern U.S. Wednesday, we're beginning to focus our attention on this trough that's coming in towards the Four Corners area on the western U.S., and that will sort of shear out. It's not going to just eject. It's kind of becoming a little detached from the main trough across Canada, so it's going to shear out and become rather elongated, almost east-west. And that's good for us because what that means is it's very tough for that cold front to get very far south. So on Friday, we're looking at the front being just to the northwest of Alabama, across Arkansas and the parts of the lower Mississippi River Valley. The trough does settle a little bit on Saturday, so that will allow the front to actually move down into our area. So right now it looks like we may be seeing some showers and thunderstorms to deal with on Saturday. And of course that's unfortunate because that's when we have the Iron Bowl. So if you're planning to go to the Iron Bowl, you may want to consider some rain gear. By Sunday, the trough has moved a little bit closer to the east coast, and the front has settled into South Alabama. So again, that puts the main threat for rain for us to be around the Saturday time frame. Looking out into Voodoo Country, the pattern remains rather active. We see a trough coming across the central U.S. on Monday. the 30th of November, so we're closing out November with the possibility of some showers. We do turn a little cooler around the 2nd of December, and we turn really cold around the 4th of December as we see a very deep trough with a good northwesterly flow. And then when we get out to the very end of the period, we are coming more under a zonal flow, so it looks like by the 7th we should be returning to temperatures about typical for the early part of December. Well, that'll do it for the Weather Xtreme video. For me, James Spann will be back in the saddle with the next edition first thing on Monday morning. In the meantime, you can stay tuned to the blog for notes on Alabama's weather. I'm meteorologist Brian Peters. Have a great day. Godspeed.